Tom, we have a lot to get to, but I wanted to start with the feeling when James Franklin flies into your school in a helicopter on multiple occasions. What is that like?
You know, it's it's unbelievable. And I said this before, back when he came in, and you know, he's first class, Penn State University football's first class, and you know, it's thanks to Michael Mennett and Joey Schlaffer. You know, for our school, the atmosphere completely changes everything. Everyone's excited. You know, I tell people I experience more things that I have in 12 years here at Exeter than most people do in a full career. And again, that's a tribute to the two student athletes that came through here, Exeter, Michael and Joey, and you know, Coach Franklin flying in, again, first class person, just a great person. One interesting thing, when he flew in, it was about 9:30 in the morning on a Friday, the one time, and I drove him around, and everybody was up, the whole school, 300 plus kids were up top, and he said to me, he says, "Tom," I said, "Yeah, Coach." He said, "Is it lunchtime?" I said, "No, they're here to see you." And he just got a smile. But that was really neat. And also back in April, after Joey enrolled in Penn State in January, on a Friday afternoon, Coach Franklin called me on a Friday, mid-April, and just wanted to let me know how well Joey was doing, and wanted me to tell everybody at Exeter how good he's doing and how he's meshing with everyone at Exeter. I mean, at Penn State, I'm sorry.
When you had signing day, you had almost 30 student athletes commit to play at the college level and 10 of them at the Division I level. What does that say about where the athletic programs are here?
You know, it's remarkable, and it's remarkable on a number of levels. One, you know, the athletes, the parents, and the coaches that we have here at Exeter that kind of, you know, put the kids in place and the teams in place to be successful. But ultimately, you know, it's a tribute to the athletes and the parents for all of their hard work and determination.
When you look at just this year, boys basketball, first District 3 championship, got to the state final. Boys volleyball, Berks County Championships, state final 4. Football, 12-1, section title. Anthony Caccese plays in Big 33 game. We mentioned Joey Schlaffer already at Penn State. Boys and girls cross country wins county championships. Carly Keith, cross country athlete of the year as a freshman. Yonas breaks the county record for goals in lacrosse. Teddy Snyder, county singles champ in tennis. Megan Unruh, 4 state medals in swimming. Cheerleading won a county championship. What do you attribute all that success to?
Well, first of all, Paul, that's an impressive list.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, never really kind of have been able to swallow and take all of that in yet. But that is very impressive. And you know, again, what I attribute it to, and I go back to what I said previously, is it starts with the athletes themselves and what they want to succeed and what they want to do. It also starts, you know, with the parents and their support of their child. And then, you know, to me, it's also our coaches here at Exeter, which do a fantastic job with our kids and in managing them and helping our teams, you know, put forth the best team on out on the court, the field, wherever it might be, to be successful. So there's a number of factors that come into what attributes to all of this, and it's just fun to watch and I'm just riding the wave.
What are some of the most memorable wins that you've seen since you've been here?
The one that sticks out in my mind that I think changed our school district's outlook on sports was when 2 years ago we beat Wilson in football. I mean, Wilson's obviously a historic football program, and they came in here in a non-league game and went up 14-0 on us on our home field. And you had kids like Ty Yoakum, J.R. Strauss, Colin Payne, who just were hard workers and just, you know, knew how to win, and we scored 42 unanswered points and beat them 42-14 on our home field. And I think that just kind of showed everybody at Exeter that was in the stands. The place was packed that night. It was a beautiful night. It just showed people that we at Exeter here, we can play with anybody. And then obviously the one that no one will ever forget, ever, is the win against Governor Mifflin in the District 3 championship game. when they had Nick Singleton, the Pennsylvania or National Player of the Year. Obviously, what he did and is doing at Penn State speaks for itself.
Yeah.
He's obviously a phenomenal talent. But for our team to go into Governor Mifflin, already losing to them a couple weeks prior to that, and
by about 30 points.
30 points, and our coaching staff to put in a game plan and our kids to execute the game plan. It's still brought up pretty much a couple times a week to me now, 2 years later. But that win put Exeter athletics, in my opinion, on the map of the state of Pennsylvania.
How exciting was the boys basketball run all the way to the state championship game?
It was the most memorable run, and I say this to a lot of people when they ask me. It was the most memorable run that I've been ever a part of as an athlete, as a coach, as an administrator. It was so much fun, and it was more the journey. It was the ups and the downs. It was the long road trips.
Yeah.
Out to Bald Eagle on a Friday and turn around and go out to Altoona on a Monday. Getting back late at night, but it was the district run, having home games here throughout, and then going to the district final against a really good Manheim Central team, and then hosting a really, really, really good Fox Chapel team, and beating them in the first round of states, and then kind of moving our way through the tournament to the state final. And in the state final, the Giant Center, the PIAA did a fantastic job with that. Everything, it was very special to our kids and our program and our school district, and it's very memorable.
We see some pictures of your family behind you. The job as an athletic director is not 9 to 5. It's anything but. How do you balance work life and family time?
It's probably the toughest part of what I do. I don't call what I do a job. It's not a job to me. The family part of this is what comes second. And unfortunately, they kind of always are second to Exeter athletics. And I try to balance it. I'm getting phone calls from coaches at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. I'm dealing with whatever comes up, I deal with. I have a very supportive family, and thanks to my wife and their kids, they know. I come home and I'm from a sporting event with my own kids, and I'm on the phone with one of my coaches, and my wife says to one of my kids, "Who's your father on the phone with now?" And they'll say, "Coach Bauer," Coach Ashcroft. So it never stops, and that's just the only thing I know of how I operate.
Last thing, I've interviewed a lot of your athletes, Michael Menet, Joey Schlaffer, Anthony Caccese, Gage Gabriel, Devin Sheeran, Colin Payne, could go on and on. These are really humble kids in addition to being spectacular athletes. Is that something that you try to preach?
Of course, we try to preach it, but the first name you mentioned there, Michael Menet, I can't speak enough about him. To me, Michael Menet is the blueprint of Exeter and where we are. And when you think about it, his brother Joey and where we are today, all those kids were young when Michael came through. They watched him. They saw how he conducted himself. Very professional, like you said, humble kid. I'll still call him a kid. But those are the things that, kids, and now these younger kids here are seeing the Joey Schlaffers, the Anthony Cacceses, the Gage Gabriels. They're seeing how they conduct themselves, hoping to be like them one day. And those kids right now, Joey, Anthony, Gage, the kids that you mentioned, Colin Payne, Ty Yoakum, Jared, they do a fantastic job of being humble and being there for the little youth kids as they're coming up.
Well, it's been quite a scholastic year. Congratulations on all the success, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Paul, and I really appreciate this.